G'day folks, I'm standing here on the King River, just upstream of the junction of the Ovens and King Rivers. This is what we call the King River boat ramp, and I've brought my Deeper Chirp Plus down because I want to see how deep it is over there on the King River. Right, now you've seen in other deeper videos and a lot of fishing videos, I spend a lot of time on that sandbar where those ladies are over there. That's probably the most popular spot in Wangaratta. So I'm essentially at the junction of the Ovens and the King Rivers, but I'm up in the King River side, but I'm normally down the Ovens River side. This is one of two boat ramps in Wangaratta. There's actually a concrete boat ramp underneath all that mud that we can't see because the mud and the water have covered it. This is the lesser used boat ramp because basically this only accesses the Ovens River in the junction here. You can't get up the river in the King River in a boat, and can't get up the King River in a boat, sorry, because it's too small and shallow, but you can access the Ovens from here. The main boat ramp is at Templeton Street, and that's the one that most people use. There's a spillway in the middle of Wangaratta, and this is upstream of the spillway, and the more popular boat ramp is downstream of the spillway. Anyway, with all that said, we're in the King River, just upstream of the junction, about 100 metres. I've got my Deeper Chirp Plus. Now, I started using this earlier and it was giving me false readings. It was giving me a really deep reading, and then I worked out why. It's because I was using the wrong hole. I was using the hole at the top of the fish finder, which was making it sit sideways in the water. That's the hole that you use from a boat. The bottom hole that I'm using now is the one that we use from the bank. So as a result, I'm going to have to ignore the map on the left hand side, so I'll move that across over there like that, and that'll allow me to just use this as a fish finder. Rightio, let's see how much water we've got in the King River at the junction. That noise you can hear is this reel. It's an old Abu Revo. It doesn't get much use these days. What have we got over there? 3.2 metres of water just there. Wow. I'll start reeling it in slowly. 3.1, 3.0, it's coming up, 2.8, 2.7, 2.6, 2.5. So even just there, we're at least 2/3 of the way across, there's a 1 metre difference between there and the bank on the other side. 1.9, so it's coming up quite shallow over this side. One 1.5. 1.6. I've got my fish finder sitting here. It's on the bracket that holds it onto the fishing rod here. Right, so from the first scan, I can see that it's over 3 metres deep under that bank, but pretty quickly it comes up. There's a deep channel along that bank, and most of this area here is only 1.5 metres deep, or about 4 foot deep, which is quite shallow. I'll try and go a bit more upstream with this cast. That didn't quite go right across, but anyway. 2.6, 2.5, 2.5, just sitting there. 2.6, 2.5. As I reel it in now, I expect it will probably get quite shallow. Interesting that there's not much on the bottom there. It's very, very, very smooth bottom. No structure at all. 1.3. Gee whiz, considering the river's still got about another probably 70 or 80 centimetres to drop to get down to its summer level, really shows just how shallow this King River is, just here. Alright, 1.4. What I might do is have a cast over near them logs and see what it shows up. What have we got down that side? 1.4, and there's a lot of structure. Look on the sounder now, see those yellow, oh look at all that structure there. 1.3, now it's smooth again. There's a little bit of structure there as well, like a twig or something down there, some kind of a small branch. 1.4. So where it landed, it was quite shallow, and I said I would imagine that might be on the actual tree. There's obviously a tree laying just there, and I'd say I've landed fair on top of the tree trunk. And once again, right along there is a smooth bottom. 1.6 metres just there. That's sort of deeper than I thought that would be. Okay, let's go out towards the centre here a little bit. How deep is it out in the middle there? 1.8. So far the deepest water has been along that bank over there where it was nearly 3 metres. Where it is out there now, it's 1.7 metres. I'm actually surprised it's not picking up any structure there. That tells me that that tree that we can see, that must be the end of it right there. So that'll be a good spot to cast a line, right at the end of that tree, I reckon. Because there's not too many snags showing up and it's just past the those big trees. .1. Here we go, look at that. I've just reeled it in a little bit, now it's coming up really shallow there. Look at all that structure right in the middle. That'll be the trunk of that tree that we can see laying down. We can see that big long tree trunk. I've just gone over the trunk. Looks like there's not much either side of it, just the trunk. So it's certainly doing a great job picking up that structure. .3 metres over there, wow. And there's a bit of stuff on the, look at that, look at the structure showing up there. Right in front of that tree over there, there's a lot of structure showing up on the bottom. 3 metres and there's a heap of snags on the bottom. That's right over there, just in front of that little tree over there. Even where it is there now, there's quite a bit of structure. Look at all that structure on the screen there. There's something showing up just down there, something small. That could well be a fish. A carp or something just sitting off the bottom a little bit. Now look at the structure there as it comes over the top of that log there. You can see the structures off the bottom. There must be a bit of a hollow under that log over there. It must sort of come up off the bottom. Oh, look at the structure on the bottom there. 3 metres of water with lots of structure. Now it starts coming up about there. Rightio folks, so what have I discovered about the King River just upstream of the junction with the Ovens River in Wangaratta? If you're standing here next to the boat ramp, this area all here is mostly featureless. There's no snags, it's a very flat bottom and it's around about 1.5 metres deep. Obviously there's a few snags out there, we can see them, but under the water there's actually not a lot. There's not much past the end of what we can see there, and that big tree trunk goes all the way across because I picked it up on the scanner and there is a hollow underneath it. The best spot here to fish is along this bank over here and just out from the bank. There's pretty consistent 3 metres of water right along that bank, and there's some really nice logs and structure at the bottom of that 3 metres. Now that's interesting because a lot of the times I've put my kayak in here and my boat when I used to have a boat, and I've just gone straight down to the ovens, and I've trawled up and down the ovens, and I've trawled up and down just above the junction on the ovens, but I've never ever thought to trawl along there. So next time I put my kayak on here, I'm going to trawl along there and I'm going to cast along there. A lot of people sit on the bank here and fish, but I wonder how many actually cast all the way over there with a big cod bait that'll sink to the bottom and hold in one spot with the current. That is definitely the pick of the spots at the junction here in Wangaratta. I think this is a wonderful carp fishing spot. I've seen a number of carp jumping while I'm here, and it's a nice flat muddy or sandy bottom, something that the carp will love. This is a good spot to find a carp, but I reckon if you want to catch a Murray cod, along that bank over there is going to be the spot to try. Remember folks, I can get you 10% off Deeper, any Deeper products. Use my discount code Robbie10 at the Deeper website, and there will be a link in the video description, and you'll get 10% off at the checkout. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've liked this video. If you have, give it a big fat thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. And there goes another carp just jumping out there. Told you it was a very carpy spot.